Welcome back, SBG enthusiasts, to another episode of Pints and Paints. As always, I'm your host, Jason. Excited today, as this is the first of 3 days of SBG goodness with the boys from the OHA and people taking part in our tournament this year at Scouring the West Farthing, an event held in conjunction with KegsCon. So we've got a gaming convention going on down here. Pretty excited. We've got it's just a single day event, 555 points. Looking forward to seeing what the guys bring, but formalities out of the way. Pints and Paints, no pints today, it's whiskey. I'm recording this sort of preamble, just got the truck loaded up, all the materials and supplies in for the weekend. Going to be meeting up with OHA Dane shortly to get settled into the room, get the bar stocked. We're going to have some visitors tonight. Got a pretty exciting weekend, actually. The tournament, of course, is tomorrow, but tonight we've got sort of a private function going on with some folks out of the States, of course the OHA guys and some other people from London. Basically the guys that decided to come down and spend the night Friday, so they didn't have to drive in the morning to get to the tournament. So we've got a little private room booked at the Retro Suites, a nice little conference room. We're going to be hosting drinks, some finger foods, stuff like that. Going to be filling it with some SBG goodness, so I think there's going to be a little bit of gaming going on with those lists, as well as I think maybe some kill team, but don't quote me on that. Just to spice it up a bit. But anyways, looking forward to that. It's always a great evening, lots of camaraderie, and it usually goes long into the night. Say hello, cat. That's cauliflower ear. Anyways, so the event this year, I have to say, as far as Scouring goes, it is one of the best years we've had for prize support. And cat wants to be in the video. Really excited, really excited. There's enough prizing that I think basically everybody's going to go home with something. Pretty excited. We're going to do it in a raffle format this year, just to give everybody a shot at getting some of the cool prizes. So we've got some really neat stuff. Keep an eye on the channel and the Facebook group coming up. There's going to be lots of pictures, lots of photographs of the event, and of course all the prizes that are available. We're going to be raffling off, and a big thank you once again to GameMat.eu for supporting our event. We have another great table from them, full of terrain that we're going to raffle off, and just all kinds of really neat stuff. We've got some scenery stuff, we've got some models. I think OHA Tyler picked up a really cool Lord of the Rings encyclopedia. I got a really cool cheese board. It's awesome. There's going to be some really cool stuff. So looking forward to seeing the guys take that stuff home. Looking forward to seeing what everybody's bringing. And also, aside from our normal best painted, we've moved away. We generally do a best painted good and evil, but we felt that maybe that was just kind of taking away from the event a little bit. We've just moved to just a generic best painted, and that way everybody's competing against one another, because what we found is you could have, 3 or 4 superbly painted evil armies, and then you had, let's say the good side was maybe not up to the same caliber, and they were still getting an award. So we felt that maybe it was time to change that, so we're going to give it a try with Scouring. But we have also partnered up with the guys at Kegs, who are the folks who put on KegsCon, who host us. We've done a open painting competition, so obviously you can enter your Lord of the Rings miniatures, and a number of us will be entering the Lord of the Rings miniatures, but it's going to be open to everybody, so everybody attending the convention is going to be able to put a model in. There is just a single foot miniature, as well as a War Machine / tank vehicle class, so there's going to be 2 categories for that. So excited to see what guys bring, excited to see a little variation, a little difference, excited to see if the Lord of the Rings players bring something other than Lord of the Rings, and vice versa. I know we've got a couple people that aren't taking part in the actual tournament itself who are still choosing to bring some Lord of the Rings miniatures, so looking forward to that. I completely forgot one of the most important parts of PnP. Staying hydrated is so important. You got to do it. It's so good when it hits your lips, especially on a weekend like this. It's very, very important. Very important. So, yeah, so the lead up to tonight is going to be awesome. I think we're going to get underway tonight about 8 o'clock. That should be when we're back in the room doing our thing. I think we're going to meet up with a couple of the Yanks for some dinner. at a new spot in town here. Pretty excited about that. It's got a really nice patio. So yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, full of camaraderie. Obviously, all the old faces are going to be there. OJ, George, Dane, Tony, Tyler. Not sure if Evan's going to make it this year. Said maybe Saturday, so we're hoping to see him. But it's shaping up to be a really good event. So we're going to have lots of updates, lots of pictures, and we'll keep you guys apprised of what's going on. So looking forward to this building up to Hot Lead. There's a lot of irons in the fire for Hot Lead this year. For any of you who are thinking about making the trip or coming down, I would definitely recommend it. This year's going to be a big year. We've got some really cool things that we're very excited about announcing coming up. Things that have not really been done at an event on this side of the pond. So pretty excited about that. Looking forward to sharing all that information with you guys. So I also wanted to touch on a really cool release that just got announced today. There's a new Bilbo out. He's the unreleased Bilbo. You know, it kind of made me chuckle because there was some negativity floating around. I threw up a couple pictures on a couple different groups. You know, just being excited as I am. It's a big weekend. And for those of you who don't know, it is actually Bilbo's birthday weekend. I think Sunday is his actual birthday. So it's rather fitting GW released his birthday Bilbo today for pre-order, or I don't know if it's for order or pre-order. I was so excited I didn't even read it. Anyways, check it out at Forge World. But yeah, getting back to the negativity, I was kind of blown away. There was guys that were complaining about, oh, great, another Bilbo, and yada, yada, yada. You know, it really made me think about some of the changes and morphs in the community that we've seen since the uptick in the game. You know, the newfound success is obviously awesome and it's great, but you know, you're definitely getting a more eclectic group of people, and it really makes me chuckle. You know, from a business standpoint, you know, GW is obviously a business. They're there to make money. If they have a miniature that is unreleased and it's a quick, easy thing for them to produce and very little turnaround or input cost for it, like, why would you not release that? You know, so for people to get upset or say things like, oh great, another Bilbo, like, who cares? If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. That's how you're going to express your discontent with that product. There's really no need to get on and piss and moan on a public site about, you know, the fact that you personally are displeased about another Bilbo being released when there's umpteenth thousands of other people that are thrilled that we're just getting new models. So you know, it's one of those things. I really wish that some of these folks posting this stuff would just kind of take a step back and realize what a dickhead you sound like when you post some of this shit, because it makes me laugh. You know, you don't need to be negative, especially I think the GBHL particularly has been doing an excellent job at keeping that a positive space, trying to keep people happy, excited, upbeat, you know, and trying to filter out some of the stuff like that, the negative comments and the connotations that sometimes come along with, you know, an uptick like this. So, you know, I think it's really interesting the way that the community's morphed. You know, we've gone from I would say essentially being a pure strain of enthusiasts that played a game, loved the system, but were diehard Tolkien enthusiasts at heart, to, you know, we're now getting quite a mix. You know, different people coming over from different game systems, even different systems within GW itself. You know, some of the more negative stuff that you see on those other groups is kind of starting to creep in. So for a fellow like me, it gets kind of hard because I'm not generally scared to share my opinion, and I gotta try to bite my tongue, or at least be as politically correct as possible when telling them to sod off. But I guess I can do it here because it's Pints and Paints. Who gives a shit, right? So yeah, let's all just be positive and happy that GW is supporting the game the way they are. I mean, I think it's amazing that we're getting to see stuff that you know, like if you had said to me a month ago that we were going to get ring bearers in acrylics, I would have told you were nuts. If you had said 2 months ago that we were going to get an unreleased Bilbo, no way. You know, even going back like 2-3 years, the list goes on. Like, the support we're seeing, the new models, the plastics, like all the stuff that's happening for this game, it's 100% because of the people supporting it. So if we're supporting it and purchasing these miniatures, they're going to keep making them. So clearly somebody's buying them. So for you to sit there and piss and moan that, oh great, it's another Bilbo, clearly GW sees a market for that Bilbo. I think the important thing to remember is there's a lot of collectors in this hobby that don't just play the game for the game. You know, there's a lot of us that collected out of the love of Tolkien lore, the movies, the books, whatever the case is. And GW, I think, for lack of a better word, is definitely catering to that. You know, they're producing stuff that may be, in some people's opinion, more obscure, but there's a lot of people out there that are collecting it to have the miniature, and they want that in their collection. So I think it's great, you know, for them to throw it up like that. You know, you saw the latest made to order. That I'm sure went really well. You know, they're trying their best to keep the momentum going with the game, and you can see that honestly in what they're doing with the releases and the stuff that they're doing. So I'm pretty excited. It's really fun times. There's so much going on. You know, it's almost been tough, you know, with the OHA. You know, obviously we haven't been as active as we had been in the past, and trying to keep up with all these new releases and all the things that are going on. It's pretty crazy, but it's great. It's great to see for the game. It's great to see for the community. The number of people that I know that we've seen a massive influx in people that are playing the game. We have an absolutely great group of guys locally. The vast majority of the people that are coming to play in our tournament are all our local players, which is awesome. You know, and I think it speaks to it. There's actually another tournament going on tomorrow in the Hamilton-Niagara region for the OSBGL. So the fact that we have a full tournament while they're hosting one of their tournaments, you know, speaks to how robust the community is and how much it's grown. You know, we're very fortunate. We got a great group of guys in the London, sort of southwestern Ontario area. And we're really trying to feed off that momentum, and GW is making it easy because people can get their hands on the stuff they want. You know, they tend to have their finger on the pulse of the community pretty well. You know, and all the greatest additions to the game that are coming out, you know, the new books and stuff, it's really good to see. It's really good to see. So you know, I think that because there's such a broad range of interest in this game, you know, you have so many different factions, so much different lore. You know, obviously that has to be spaced out. GW can't cover everything like that. So you know, with what they're doing, you know, with you had the Scouring of the Shire and the Gondor book, and going forward the new Rohan supplement that's coming out. You know, I think that they're diving in. They're diving in and doing some pretty interesting stuff. I really like that they went with Scouring the Shire and gave you know, a more scenario focused sort of feel to that. I think that was a good call because it's catering to both needs within the community. There's a lot of people, ourselves included at the OHA, we put theme at the forefront. We love scenarios, we love playing through those things, so we were absolutely thrilled to see it and can't wait to see what is coming next. It's going to be really exciting stuff. So I know there's a whole team of people that are working real hard to make sure that comes to pass. And then of course with any new supplement, you're getting all kinds of new toys, right? So you know, with the number of releases that we have had, given where the game was, I think that it's really really amazing. And I think that speaks to another topic with respect to some of the people that are coming into the community that are from outside of where the sort of traditional SBG community was. They're coming from systems that have been supported all the time. New releases, new models, new whatever, right? If you're a 40K player, if you're a War Machines player, if you're a Flames of War player, it doesn't matter. Coming over into this system and not understanding that the game had kind of a lull there, you know, and there really wasn't support. Not understanding that, and then coming in and seeing the release schedule or the new stuff. I mean, I think, I'm not taking away from what GW is doing. They're doing a great job, but people like that don't understand that this is a new thing for us. You know, it's been a while, long time coming. You know, once they started ramping up and they dropped the Iron Hills, and you know, sort of the wheels started turning from there. So for people who weren't part of the community or saw or supported the game before the resurgence, you know, obviously they have a more difficult time understanding why people like us are as thrilled as we are to just be getting what we're getting. You know, so I think it speaks to where they can garner some insight. You know, this was really a fan-based supported game for a few years there until GW stepped back in and filled that void. You know, and the Middle Earth team did a great job. They really kick-started the game, and obviously the community has a big part to do with that. But at the end of the day, if GW didn't want to do it, they wouldn't have done it. So I think credit needs to be given there. Obviously, we had some people that were pushing real hard to make sure the game survived, and I really do think we're in a new era for the game, and seeing the resurgence and the growth. So very, very excited to see what the future has to hold, and the new releases and all that fun stuff. So anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I got some more work to do to get ready for Scouring. If you're interested, if you're in the area, if you're local, if you want to go for a drive, I don't really care. Come on down to Chatham, Kent, Ontario. That's in Canada. It's a quiet little town, but we're going to have one hopping SBG party going on. So we will be at the Retro Suites tomorrow from basically about 9 until midnight. After the event, we're going to be running just a big game. We're all going to throw in our miniatures and have a big battle royale. And just kick back. Friday, if anybody wants to reach out to the OHA on the page, we are going to be around in Chatham. You're welcome to come down, hang out, have a few drinks, and throw some dice. So anyways, looking forward to catching up with you guys soon. Look for another P&P very, very soon. We may even get one in this weekend. I don't know. We'll see what the boys are feeling, see if anybody wants to talk in front of the camera. But stay tuned, because there's going to be lots of very cool announcements for Hot Lead. Really excited about the direction that it's taking this year. And the changes that are going to be coming. So thanks very much for joining me on P&P. Cheers, guys. Happy hobbying. Have a great weekend.